What's up, guys? Welcome to Bathos. Hope y'all are having a really good week, and I hope y'all are having a really good semester. Hope school's going well. Hope y'all are making y'all's grades and getting enough sleep. Today, I'm here to talk to you about homelessness. Now, me personally, I have a little story that kind of coincides, and it actually happened to me recently over the Christmas break. As some of y'all know from me and Jake's incessant complaining, our heater went out during probably one of the biggest blizzards that we've ever had here in Lubbock. Now, because we are dumb and a little bit lazy, we decided to just throw out a bunch of blankets and not get it fixed until everyone else comes back. On one night in particular, I believe it was in January if I remember right, it was obscenely cold. I'm talking like in the single digits of degrees Fahrenheit cold. So I'm sitting on this little couch we have upstairs. I've got a hoodie on, I've got my sweatpants on, 2 pairs of socks. I'm under every single blanket I can find. And I am still freezing. I feel like I'm about to die. My toes are about to turn like blue and purple. It was so unbelievably cold. And I started thinking about Bathos and how I was going to have to speak about homelessness. And I was like, man, this is a crazy experience with homelessness. And that's when it struck me, is that the homeless had it so much worse than me in that particular moment. I at least had a roof over my heads. The homeless had to be outside with the wind and the snow and everything else. I was just experiencing a single part of the smorgasbord of elements that just attacked them every single day of their lives. I have no idea what it truly means to be homeless, what it truly means to need. According to the Texas Homeless Network, they did a survey in 2013 of Lubbock. There are 376 homeless living just in our county. That's down from 700 in 2010, but still 376 homeless is a fair amount of our population compared to other places. About a quarter lived in emergency shelters, and 20% lived in places not meant for habitation, which essentially means under bridges, in bus stops, just basically wherever they could. When we talk about mercy, and we talk about those who essentially are down in their luck, I personally don't think there's a bigger showing of mercy that we can give someone than to help the homeless. According to those same Texas Homeless Network statistics, for over half of them, it's their first time being homeless. And for the other half, well, they'd been homeless multiple times. 21.2% had lost their jobs. 12.4% were homeless because specifically of domestic violence, 11.2% because of addiction issues that are partially outside of their control, and 8.8% because of divorce. That is a huge chunk of homeless adults that are homeless through circumstances outside of their control. Now, how do we as Christians react to those circumstances that are outside their control when I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that some of our bias says that, oh, if you're homeless, then you made rash financial decisions, or you lived outside your means and now you're on the streets. Well, we can see that for a huge chunk of that population, this is not the case. In Luke 14:13 through 14, it says, "But when you give a feast, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the just." At Proverbs 19:17, it says, "Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed." Isaiah 58:6 through 8 says, "Is this not the fast that I choose? To loose the bonds of the wicked, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, and bring to the homeless poor into your home? When you see the naked, to cover him, and not to hide yourself from your own flesh? Then shall your light break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall spring up speedily. Your righteousness shall go before you, and the glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard." Biblically, in both the New and the Old Testament, and by the words of Christ himself, it is very, very obvious that we are to show mercy to the homeless, to show mercy to the poor, to those who are down on their luck. Now, what does that practically look like? Well, we all know that in some cases it might not mean giving someone who struggles with addiction $20 to go do with whatever he or she desires. Sometimes it means maybe giving them a meal. Sometimes maybe it means giving them a ride. And yeah, I know they stink. Yeah, I know they might not be the most friendly or a little bit pushy. But we have to understand and we have to see from their perspective, like, how would we be acting if we were in their scenario? I know that if, I happened to be divorced and I was out on the streets because of it, man, I would not be a friendly person. I would not be nice. I would not be happy. Maybe that's what some of them are going through. We must attempt to see the world as they see it, to see what's happening to them through their eyes, and not just our limited view of them on the surface. There is a huge percentage of homeless people that need help. In 2014, Lubbock built Tent City, which has done wonders for the homeless population here by giving them a place to go, giving them a place to shower, giving them a place to rest where they can get some food. The Salvation Army also does a lot of help in terms of feeding. There are various soup kitchens around Lubbock that you can volunteer at. In our front office, there is a schedule with all of the places that the homeless can go and get a free meal. And I believe it's somewhere in the teens of places that they can go during the week. They can get fed, but sometimes they just need a little help. It's not easy to find those things when, you might be a little too prideful to ask for help, or, you don't have a smartphone anymore, so you can't just Google it. And every time you go in a place that has free internet access or a free computer, people look at you weird. People look at you like you don't belong, and people look at you like they hate you. So my questions for this week are twofold. I want us to discuss what kind of unconscious biases that we feel like we have against the homeless. I believe that everyone has at least one or two where we look at someone and we say, oh, this is the way they are. So let's discuss what kind of unconscious bias that we have there. And the second fold, has there ever been a time in your life where you were less than kind to someone less fortunate than you? I realize that's a difficult topic to get into, as it involves a lot of self-realization. It involves a lot of looking inside yourself and seeing, man, I've probably been a jerk to someone who completely did not deserve it. But I think it's a valuable discussion, and I think it's something that will ultimately enhance our small groups and enhance our understanding of what it really does mean like to be homeless. Thanks for your time.